Doki Doki Downpour is a Doki Doki Literature Club fan mod that is not affiliated in any way with Team Salvato. It is designed to be played only after the official game has been completed and contains spoilers for the official game. Game files for Doki Doki Literature Club are required to play this mod and can be downloaded at free for at the official website. Please be aware that some parts of this mod may be considered disturbing or cruel. Some flashing images may also be unsafe for photosensitive users. By playing Doki Doki Downpour, you agree that you have completed Doki Doki Literature Club, accept any spoilers contained within, and are able and willing to experience potentially harmful content. That's a bit new. Maybe I am too up. Let's Play mode has been enabled automatically. This mode allows you to skip content and contain sensitive information or apply alternative story options. To turn off Let's Play mode, visit settings and uncheck Let's Play mode. Lagging. I can't change the settings yet. We had introduction here. Greetings, I am Amy and welcome to Doki Doki Downpour. I can change the settings now, I hope. Full screen. So, okay. Should take a few moments. So, yeah, as far as I know, this is only the demo. Also, a few things about my living situations have changed, so you might be able to hear my budgies in the background every now and then. But I will cover them later when it's time to sleep. It shouldn't be a problem for every video. Anyway, yeah, so as far as I know, this is a demo. I don't know if I'm going to give any type of review yet. Maybe I can say a few things story-wise, but I can't say everything now. If I review it, I have to review it as a demo, so a few things would have to change. I think I'll turn off extras. The citizen of graphic content. No, I think it's fine. I'm feeling quite good right now about this. I know a few things. For example, there will be more characters. We've seen that in the intro too. And I know I've read a spoiler-free review, and it seems there are a lot of options in this game, so no playthrough would be like any other. I really wanted to play everywhere I can, but if it's... From what I've seen, it might be really like a lot. The mods I play will also... The download links for the mods I play will always be in the description, because I'll most likely only play like specific things through like specific important events or something. So yeah, I felt like I should also note that. Let's see. Interesting. Okay. New game. Oh. Please enter your name. Let's use Max for here. The intro comes here again, but like the intro music, but let's just use this name to experiment around. Act 1, Monochrome Sky. I don't know how far the demo is. Oh, do I need to click? No, I think. No, it's still loading. Oh, click to continue now. Give me a second. I feel like I already need to drink. I forgot to drink earlier. Okay. Guess it was just my imagination after all. I gaze up at the sky from underneath the shelter of my umbrella. A tapestry of endless clouds, colorless. Such a warm welcome to my first day in high school. Interesting. Fortunately, I'm quite the romantic. I just love long walks in the rain. I've lately found, like, interest in that as well. Not that there's any other option. The buses stopped running after the first week. I don't have a car. Mom isn't exactly someone I can rely on. Funny. In days past, I'd at least be sharing this miserable walk with someone else. We'd be complaining back and forth to each other about our wet feet, runny noses, numb fingers, and hard-ass parents. Hard-ass parents. I wonder if I was happy back then. Yeah, so we're in the new school. Rain beating against the surface of my umbrella, I breathe in the damp air, allowing the ever-present scent of petrol to permeate my nostrils and fill my chest. Before exhaling all the pent-up oxygen, in hopes that this ritual of inner cleansing expelled all the imaginary gunk within. I put one foot in front of the other, and sure enough, my body, machine that it is, continues forth towards the direction of Sarupatu High. Granted, I'm not yet familiar enough with the area to simply proceed on autopilot, but I'm sure that'll be fixed in due time. Though my umbrella shields me, the rain still splashes around my shoes. Thank goodness the sidewalks of this neighborhood have a decent runoff system. Still, I suspect that I'll be needing new shoes before the semester is over. Wonder if I can start saving up for that. Pull the water closer. My ruminations interrupted by a petite figure walking ahead of me, whose silhouette is almost completely eclipsed by its umbrella. Strange. I thought it'd take longer to start running into other people. Maybe we live in the same neighborhood? I don't know why I'm assuming they're going to the same school as me. I see her outfit. So she does go to Sarubatu High as well. Her hair, it's dyed a bright pink. Yeah, so it's Natsuki. Her umbrella is pink as well. She stands out vividly amidst her dreary surroundings, a singular secure petal adrift in a sea of grey. Oh. Crap. I'm starting to catch up to her. Damn it, why can't she just walk faster? There's not much room for the both of us on the skinny sidewalk either. Skinny sidewalk either. Should I say hi to her, or maybe it'd be best if I simply passed her by without a word. I'm about to pass the pink-haired girl in front of me. I should... Do I want to remember? Okay. Yes, we will greet her. Because if we just walk past her, who knows? like, if it's too skinny, like, if the sidewalk is too skinny, if we greet her, maybe she'll, like, notice, oh god, we need to see how how the other person can walk besides me and, like, walk past me properly. Whereas if there's, like, no signal, we might, like, just, I don't know, really, like, brush her, or, like, not just brush her, but really, like, bump into her. Excuse me, miss. The pink-haired girl shoots me the nastiest scowl she can muster up. Or maybe that's just her resting face. Oh, I know that feeling. My resting face is also deemed either very emotionless or annoyed. I power through my inhibitions and continue to speak. Hi. I noticed your uniform and... Well, I thought you go to Sarubato High, right? She looks me up and down, taking note of my uniform as well, if I had to guess. I don't know, you new transfer or something? That's right, it's my first day. Yeah? Well, let me give you a whole world of advice, new kid. Stay the fuck out of my way. With a huff, she turns on her heel and continues onward while I stay still in stunned silence. This was a mistake. Well, at least you now know that it won't be easy to just walk past her. Of course it was a mistake, stupid. Why do you think some random girl you don't even know would want to talk to you? I stand in place a while longer before continuing onward once I'm sure there's adequate distance between me and the pink-haired girl. As I continue, my path begins to merge with that of more and more people. I can hear their voices, even over the rain. They talk, laugh, wrestle, and point and gossip. At first, the words are indistinct, but if I listen closely and concentrate on just one conversation at a time, I can make out what they're saying. No way! In the rain? What the hell? That's so romantic! I thought guys like that only existed in anime. I swear, Ibakari is running out of ideas. I mean, nobody liked Harume as a villain anyway, and it's not like people's opinions. Look, just like, chin up, my guy. Here, tell you what. Why don't we head up the arcade after class? See Prince's new 4 stars. It's a habit of mine, people watching. I look at them, how they carry themselves, and the kind of people they surround themselves with. I listen to little snippets of their lives. And I write stories. Sometimes they're just little stories in my head. Meaningless fabrications formed by assumption and circumstance, gone as quickly as they come. And sometimes I write them down. I preserve a moment of someone's life forever in ink. I gather the experiences, the youth only others know, and graft them together until it forms a cohesive narrative resembling the life and feelings of a human being. But it isn't really one. I am Dr. Frankenstein, and my notebook is my monster. And if I were to tell this to anyone, they would think it just as perverse. Probably because it is. I mean, I'm not exactly sure. When I write stories, it is also inspired by, like, lives and lives of people that I've noticed. Because reality will always affect fiction. Whether you want to or not. If someone else, like, picked up on a conversation I had with someone and ended up making, like, a bit of a story out of it, I mean, depending on how specific whatever the story they're writing and publishing is, I probably wouldn't even notice, because depending on what they picked up of me, it could just be something like everyone could experience, anyone in this world. It could have been from their own experience, so I don't think it would be any weird to just, like, pick up on something someone said and decide, this is interesting, I might put a hint of that into a story, because I'm pretty sure it's kind of always a little bit like that, even if just subconscious. Like, if I try to write a story about a very normal human, if I have to like write a story about like normal students at school, then I also have to like listen to like students at school to kind of understand what they're going through and be like, yeah, this and that, you know? I do kind of need to like listen to that, or like at least inform myself about it to write something like that. And to write a human life and make sure that it like seems kind of human as well. You also do kind of need to be a bit observant about like how humans around you do like live. I close my umbrella and wince as it sends little rain droplets all over the floor. Sorry, Mr. Custodian. As I place my umbrella amidst the others, I suddenly feel an imposing presence looming over my shoulder. Their shadow engulfs me, likely eclipsing my entire body. I turn around and... Oh, last time I saw the sprite, it was, not a pleasant sight to see. How do I make a voice? I don't know male voices. Max. Ah! It's just Vice Principal Katsutoshi. A towering giant of a distinguished gentleman with eyes that could pierce Kevlar. I have no idea right now how to say that. But he's been my lifeline as I've adjusted to life here in Sarubato City. Katsuboshi-sensei, please don't tell me you've been waiting here for me. Don't worry about it. Besides, this isn't a social call. I'm here to rectify a mistake of my own. A detail I failed to relay during our transfer process. It's one of the requirements for staying enrolled at Sarubato High. A trifling matter, really. From your first day of classes, you will be required to enlist in at least one extracurricular club within 2 weeks. Oh, so this is interesting. A club. I know. It seems silly and frivolous. Why should I, a student in an institute of learning, be required to join some clique of people I don't even know? But your social life is just as important as your academics, young Max. The speech... It reminds me of someone I used to know. After all, we need you to be able to work with others as a team once we churn you out into the machine of Japanese industry. We're always in need of more cogs. Even has her sense of humor. Oh, even has her sense of humor. Wait, is this once again intended to be like Monica's father and we're going to meet Monica? Okay, I'll look into joining clubs. All I need to hear. I'll get out of your hair now, Max. Enjoy your time at Sarubato High. Because I sure don't. I smile and wave as he turns and heads deeper inside the school. I wonder how much of his grumbling is merely jokes. Join a club, huh? Well, I have 2 weeks to figure that out. Class 4C, that's mine. First class of the day is, of course, homeroom. I imagine they'll be announcing my transfer at this time. I wish they wouldn't. I wish I could just slip in as if I was always there. Could probably get away with it for a while, too. I'm good at staying unnoticed, and if someone did notice, they'd probably just be like, huh, guess he was... Oh wait, I'm stalling. Fine. Let's rip off the band-aid here and now. I take a deep breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and gently open the door. Don't really know what I expected. This sure is a classroom, just like the ones in middle school, full of listless students who'd probably rather be asleep in bed right now. And they've paid me no mind. I settle between the occupied chairs and take my seat at the assigned station. Not next to the window, unfortunately. Yeah, we're not in an anime, we're just in a game. No wistful window side gazing into the grey clouds from me. Reminds me of the time. It has been years since then. But I was like spacing out once in class, looking at the mountains outside, and the teacher made fun of me for it. I think that memory will stick forever, because the first time I'm pretty sure he called me, I didn't even really like pick up on it because I was just too lost in, I don't know. I don't think I was thinking about anything at the time. Before long, a middle-aged woman enters the front of the classroom with a stack of papers in her hand. She stands at her desk and sets the papers down, neatly organizing them as she glances back and forth between her papers and the class. Then attendance begins. Asahi? Here. Natsuki? Here. Yui? Here. Mei? Ryuji? Here. Kyusei? Here. I'm sure soon I'll be able to match the names of the faces. Well, Natsuki's in our class, it seems. Interesting. Attendance continues on until... Everyone, we have a new transfer student joining us from now on. I realize it is unusual to have a new classmate in the middle of a semester, but please extend him your warmest greetings. Max, would you come up in front of the class, please? Oh boy, here we go. I had to transfer schools twice too. But it was like primary school, I don't remember what it was like. Go on, introduce yourself. Oh yeah. She says, giving me a gentle pat on my shoulder. I gulp. Wait until she pets someone with happophobia. In through the nose, out through the mouth. My name is Max. Hi, Max! The class says in unison, causing me to nearly jump out of my skin. I am a new transfer to your class. She already said that, dipshit. Yes. Actually, I'm not sure if these are like that necessary. But I do want to try a few things before I like say I'm going to leave it at there. We're trying to be social, I guess. I want to try to be like a bit open. I like video games and anime. Writing too. I do a lot of writing. Actually, Natsuki's in our class, right? Maybe she'll take an interest in us. My budgies are very low right now. And reading books, not just manga or light novels. Wow. Way to sound like a snooty pseudo-intellectual. How are you gonna save this one, Max? Not that there's anything wrong with enjoying manga or light novels. Really, I'll enjoy any medium of entertainment, so long as... Oh god, can you... Sorry, but that was annoying. Medium of entertainment, so long as it's well written and character driven. If I can empathize with... Really? Thank you for the introduction. I entrust myself to your care. I punctuate this final sentence with a deep bow, desperately hoping the sweat on my brow doesn't drip off. My statement and gesture are met with polite applause. Standing up straight, I notice a boy with long black hair in the corner window seat staring at me intensely. With my face having been thoroughly dyed a deep shade of crimson, I return to my seat, avoiding eye contact with the class. The remainder of homeroom passed without incident. The usual administrative tasks were delegated to various students, thankfully not including me for now, and we were dismissed. However, as I was packing in my things... Oh, I've seen like the sprite as like for like the male Yuri version before, kind of. God, right, I need to do more male voices. I've already been wondering, I kind of want to do the switcheroo mod, and I was wondering, should I just go with the female voices still? Because I like can't do male voices for shit, and this is like, nee. Should I go with that? No, he looks too polite. Max, hello. I'll see what I'm going to do. I come face to face with the boy I noticed eyeing me up earlier. Hi, my name is Kuse. I'm class representative for the freshmen. This kid's a first year. He looks so tall and mature. Well, I mean, believe it or not, like compared to my friends, I look like 14 and they look like I have friends like 3 years younger than me, and like it's still they look so much older than me. Am I in trouble? Goodness, no. I'm just here to offer my help in getting you your bearings. Later, at least. Right now, we both have classes to get to. Do you know the way to the cafeteria? We could meet there at we could meet there at lunch. From there, I could show you to any places you're curious about. What do you say? Let's do that. Sure, yeah. That sounds wonderful. Awesome. I'll be expecting you at lunch then. That was not the voice. Awesome. Without another word, he returns and leaves the classroom with deliberate but forceful steps, as though stepping onto a grand stage in front of hundreds. This Cusack guy really seems impressive. I'm almost intimidated by what I've committed to. Yeah, almost is an understatement. World History is my first class on Monday. For my home study materials, I believe we'd be at the rise of Japan's... Oh god, no. Keiretsu... You get it. History. I have not heard that in English yet, nor in German. Situated in my assigned seat. Right. In one history book we had like something about Korea once, but we never got to it. And when we were like discussing World War II, of course we were only like focusing on like the German things. Kind of wanted to do a bit of research maybe there myself to like the other aspects of it. Situated in my assigned seat, I opened the World History textbook to the appropriate page as outlined in the study booklet. On the dot, an older bespectacled gentleman enters and takes his place at the front of the class. I've read this word before, I know what it means. But how the fuck do you say it? Good news, everyone! The economy is booming, following allied occupation and the partial dissolution of the Saibatsu system. Japanese banks actually don't mind world history. There are so many stories to find the deeper you dig. Stories of suffering, hardship, triumph, victory, and defeat. But by necessity, the classes are usually much too broad to ever dive into the actual human layers to each historical event. Yeah, I noticed that quite a lot too. I had like a whole presentation about that once. Maybe that's why people have a hard time with history. We're always given the perspectives of kings and heroes, people we couldn't possibly relate to. Japanese class passed eventually. Uneventfully. And eventually, I mean. That wasn't a lie. Honestly, I feel like a class like this is super rudimentary by the time you're in high school. Rudimentary. It's lunchtime now, though. Not that I packed any lunch, I'm assuming. Oh, right! I told Tuesday I'd join him for lunch! Sure gonna be awkward with him eating alone. The cafeteria is thronged with hungry students. Some with their own lunches and some waiting in line for the clammy ramen and curry being slung from behind the counter. We didn't have like a cafeteria, a real one, in our school anymore. Some eat in groups and some eat alone. Even though I know the cafeteria food is likely wild, the scent of cumin in my nostrils is intoxicating. Cumin, I think. I think that's how you say it. Maybe, just this once, I could treat myself. Oh, look, it's Kyusei! Wait, Kyusei? Kosei! He beckons me over with a gentle wave. Kosei. No! What the fuck? Gotta be honest, I didn't expect you to actually show up. Huh? Why not? I mean, can you blame me? When you introduced yourself to the class, your face was so red I thought you'd pass out on the spot. Still, good on you for pressing on regardless. Even the most confident person would be hard-pressed to discuss their hobbies in front of strangers. I suspect my face at this moment may be even redder than it was before. I sure hope this sort of teasing doesn't form the basis of our relationship. Come on, sit. I only notice I've been standing this whole time. As I take a seat across from him, Kosei cracks open a plastic clamshell container containing 3 sandwiches, each separately bound with plastic wrap. He unwraps one of them and bites into it. I just stared down into my lap, fidgeting with my fingers. What's the matter? Aren't you going to eat your lunch? I don't want to lie. I must have forgotten my lunch at home. How forgetful of you. Here. Kosei leans forward, presenting one of the wrapped sandwiches to me. Oh no, I couldn't possibly just take it. The convenience store I buy these from only sells them in packs of 3. Way too much for one person. Hesitantly, I take the sandwich into my hands, cradling it as if it were a baby bird. Wonder if my PUBG said that. Thank you so much. Kosei offers no words in response, simply continuing to chow down on his sandwich while watching me amusedly as I unwrap the sandwich. It appears to be an egg sandwich, simple, no additives like pickles or ham. I bite into the sandwich, and the creamy egg flavor fills my entire mouth. What should be simple and one note is remarkably rich and pleasing on the tongue. As the food slides down my gullet and into my stomach, a strange feeling of renewed vigor permeates me, as though life was just restored to the flesh of my bones. On my bones. The flesh of your bones, exactly. The delight must have been... Delight must have been apparent on my face because, right, this egg sandwich is light on the mayo and light on the salt, which brings out its sweetness to the mark. And since they get these free-range eggs directly from the farms, you can say it's the ultimate egg salad sandwich, seeking to capture the splendid taste of the egg itself. Nice to see that we both are ramblers or something like that. Well, suffice to say, it's a very good sandwich. There were people yelling outside just a moment ago. I hope everything's fine there. Seems I'm not the only one who's given to going on tangents. Yeah, many people go on tangents. I like to do it too. Once Kosei is finished with his sandwich, Kosei. Why is it Kyusei to me sometimes? Did I read something with Kyusei? No. The last manga I read was Angels of Death. That doesn't even really have Japanese names. Once Kosei is finished with his sandwich, he leans forward over the table, tenting his fingers. Kosei. Last person was Kosei. Max, you wouldn't happen to play an instrument, would you? Um, no. Why do you ask? Are you sure? You look like the artistic type. You mentioned writing as one of your hobbies. Writing music isn't that far removed, you know? Um... sorry. Didn't mean to presume. I'm in the music club, you see? And you, mister, have 2 weeks to join a club. Well, like I said, I don't play an instrument. Right, literature club would be perfect for him. Like, Natsuki likes manga, and he also likes writing in general. And reading. All types of literature he enjoys reading. Of course. Well, is there anywhere else you'd like to see? I can show you any of the campus services. It'd be my pleasure. Oh, there's no need to trouble yourself. Stop it. Like I said, it's my pleasure. And also, you know, it's my job as class representative. In that case... Do we, want to see, his interest? Or should we, I wonder if we'd maybe prefer the library as something we, enjoy. Actually, I'd really like to know where the library is. A bookish type, are you? Can't say I'm surprised. Kosei rises from his seat and dusts any stray crumbs off his hands with quick, measured motions. Alright then, follow me. It's a bit of a hike. Kosei wasn't lying. It was a bit of a walk. We even had to travel outside, though we kept dry by staying under the walkways. It's always the same library. I like that there's still the rain animation outside. I have no idea why that kind of startled me a little bit. This place sure is big for a high school. And even more impressively, it has a dedicated, though small, library that isn't open to the public. That's right. Only students of Sarubatu High are allowed inside Miyazaki Library. Feeling like a VIP yet? I take a look around what's apparently known as Miyazaki Library. It really does have that atmosphere of exclusivity, like a niche cafe catered toward, matcha lovers only or something. I don't know, I don't really drink coffee. That was a piss poor analogy, but what I'm trying to convey is that this place suits me perfectly. It's quiet, cozy, loaded with books, and there's hardly anyone around. I could spend all my lunch breaks here, going forward. Find a book and spend the hour reading. Entire hour lunch break. Well, maybe in Japanese schools. I'm sure the library would allow me to borrow books, but I don't dare take any home with me. There's too much of a risk it could get lost or damaged. I'll just read them here and put them back once lunch break's over. Maybe hide them a little bit so nobody else borrows them. I wonder how late it's open. I sure hope it doesn't close with the school. I could stay over after school, along with a book, out of the rain. Plus, the less time spent at home, the better, Max. Okay, it seems we have some... he mentioned his mother is not someone he can rely on. It seems like it's very bad. You still with us? Oh, I am so sorry. I completely forgot Kosei was here. Kosei. Yeah. No problem. Listen, Max, are you going to be fine on your own? It seems like there's some urgent music club business that demands my attention. Yeah! Yes, I can find my own way back once lunch period is over. Excellent. I'll leave you to your literary adventures then. Oh, one more thing. Would you mind telling me your phone number? Oh, yes. I mean, no, as in no, I don't mind. After I finished fumbling with my words like a moron, I successfully managed the simple task of relaying my phone number to Kosei. Maybe you at the very least know it just know it, unlike me. Thank you very much. Now to see if you gave me a fake number. I would never... Ah, My poor heart. That scared me less than the intro jump scare of the lightning. Oh, we can do. Oh, we have more phone texting. Be yourself. No one can say you're doing it wrong. By Charlie Brown. He has a cat. The words of encouragement, though peculiar in their own origin, are nonetheless genuinely appreciated. Thank you, Kosei. Whatever for? For showing me to the library, for offering me sweet sentiments over text, for being kind in general, for departing on what I'm pretty sure is a bogus errand because you know I'd like to be alone here. Oops, gotta head out. See you around, Max. Goodbye! Kosei coolly strolls out of the library and begins furiously tapping away on his phone. Huh. Maybe there's trouble at the music club after all. After spending a bit of time browsing the shelves, I come upon a title I've had in my sights for a while, Beneath a Crimson Moon. It's a new release by a Canadian author named Blake Valentine, which I'm sure is just an absurd pseudonym. Blake is renowned for his refreshingly modern takes on the cosmic horror genre. I wonder if Yuri could be here and also could be interested in that book. Well, I say renowned, but none of that his stuff has really hit the mainstream. Horror is horror after all. If H.P. Lovecraft's work drew upon common fears and anxieties of his time, then Blake's stories touch those nerves that keep the modern man up at night. For example, his second release, Black Eyes, followed two different perspectives. Rose O'Connell, a detective and single mother with an unstable teenage son. In Jemison Cortez, a low-level enforcer for a Mexican drug cartel called the Carnival Oscuro. At first, it plays out like a detective story, albeit one where the criminal's perspective is given just as much attention and depth as the lawman's. But things take a turn for the weird when it's revealed that the drug the Carnival Oscuro is pushing, known as Tlalocan, may actually be granting prophetic visions rather than mere delusions. Detective O'Connell ingests the drug to see these visions for herself, and it works. Now able to see 5 steps ahead of her adversaries, Rose O'Connell begins flawlessly thwarting the machinations of the Carnival Oscuro, all while spiraling down into a soul-crushing cycle of addiction and dependence on the Tlalocan drug. Meanwhile, Jemison Cortez, after witnessing an incredibly unnecessary gruesome execution of an enemy cartel leader, begins wondering as to... I should stop thinking about the book I already read and get started on the new one. I don't think it's necessary. It's always nice to reminisce about other stories. I wonder if this is an actual book. I might check it out. I might get a surprise, like with, The Girl Next Door. In Tropical Rain, which was kind of a very different story in the real world that I could find about it. Because of the library's small size, there's only one seating area, consisting of 2 tables pushed close together with chairs surrounding. Which presents a problem for me because there's already someone here occupying a seat at the table. Ooh. I'll save like some of these images here. That's a nice, like, almost like, already, like, I saw, like, the, promotion art, like, where you can download the mod. Like I said in the description, it's, like, the link to that. And it, like, kind of looked like an anime, actually. Like the introduction, too, like, of course it wasn't made professional, but it still looked very good. A girl is seated at one corner of the table. Given her height and apparent maturity. I guess she's a third year, but then again, Kosei has taught me to dispose of assumptions. Her long, jet-black hair reaches down beyond her torso, and when it catches the light, it could almost be mistaken for a shade of luminescent lavender. Oh, so we're assuming, like, this is kind of like her hair is like, or is it? Whatever it is she's reading has her completely spellbound. I almost want to know what it is. So we're like kind of assuming this is like real world scenarios. Like, Natsuki actually like dyes her hair pink. And Yuri like has black hair which appears purple. Kind of like, I know some people whose hair appears like very bluish in the right light. They're like actually like black hair simply. Did I read the final line? I almost want to know what it is. But not so much that I'd be driven to actually bother her about it. I approached the opposite corner of the table and, after dusting off the surface, dragged the chair out as quietly as possible. I opened Beneath the Crimson Moon to Chapter 1, after having read the foreword and acknowledgements. In the year of our Lord 1900, I'm going to say it, physicist Max Planck presented his... Great, well, we have the same name. Presented his quantum theory to the German Physical Society. Planck had initially set out to discover the reason that radiation from a glowing body changes in color from red to orange and finally to blue as its temperature rises. I stared out at the window of room 304 of the Physical Science Building at Toronto University. I watched the snow falling, drifting closer and farther, disappearing and reappearing as it danced in the fog. Infinite flakes of infinite complexity, beginning as vapor and ending as vapor. The two major interpretations of quantum theory's implications for the nature of reality are the Copenhagen interpretations and the many worlds theory. Niels Bohr proposed the Copenhagen interpretation of quantum theory, which asserts that a particle is whatever it is measured to be. For example, a wave or a particle, but that it cannot be assumed to have specific properties or even to exist until it is measured. In short, Bohr was saying that objective reality does not exist. This translates to a principle called superposition, that claims that while we do not know what the state of any object is, it is actually in all possible states simultaneously, so long as we don't look to check. This Bohr person would tell me that search of these snowflakes are not so complex as every other scientist would say, then each and every one drifts through the air, as complex only as my eyes can perceive them. But that's ridiculous, right? To illustrate this theory, we can use the famous and somewhat cruel analogy of Schrödinger's cat. First, we have a living cat and place it in a thick lead box. At this stage, there is no question that the cat is alive. We then throw in a vial of cyanide and seal the box. We do not know if the cat is alive or if the cyanide capsule has broken and the cat has died. Since we do not know, the cat is both dead and alive, according to quantum law, in a superposition of states. It is only when we break open the box and see what condition the cat is that the superposition is lost and the cat must be either alive or dead. In short, reality is a construct of human perception. Pretty existential, isn't it? I recall a saying or idea from somewhere asserting that technology sufficiently advanced is indistinguishable from magic. Every day it feels like we're treading closer to that line. After all, we've already circled right back around to the tree of life. The second interpretation of quantum theory is the many worlds theory. It holds that as soon as a potential exists for any object to be in any state, the universe of that object transmutes into a series of parallel universes equal to the number of possible states in which that object can exist, with each universe containing a unique single possible state of that object. Furthermore, there is a mechanism for interaction between these universes that somehow permits all states to be accessible in some way and for all possible states to be affected in some manner. Yes, you heard that right. Avowed physicists such as Stephen Hawking and Richard Feynman have expressed that it's possible to reach into and affect alternate timelines if only we had the knowledge and resources to do so. My name is Hana Misaki, simply one among infinite others. And my story is real. It's real. I know it is. It has to be. Everything I've experienced and felt, it's real. Objectively so. Although scientists throughout the past century have balked at the implications of quantum theory, Planck and Einstein among them, the theory's principles have repeatedly been supported by experimentation, even when the scientists were trying to disprove them. So what exactly does that mean for us humans? Well, I'm afraid that's something for the priests and philosophers to chew on. I'm just here to show how it all works, folks. Now, why don't we learn some equations? The slight discomfort in the air dissipates as the class breaks out into slightly amused chuckles. They're all so quick to laugh it all off. Why can't I? Beneath a crimson moon. Because it's an interesting topic. Especially since I'm also currently playing with it with one of my stories. Although I can probably read my story better than I could read that. I'm so sorry. Wow. Now there's a hell of an intro. Although I can't say I'm well versed in the subject of quantum mechanics, I'm aware it can make splendid fodder for cosmic horror. I wouldn't say mine is a cosmic horror per se. I would rather call it psychological horror in my case. Since it doesn't dive deep into all of that, it's rather just a few parts of it that are important to the story there. But it certainly makes sense for a lot of stories like cosmic horror or if you also maybe psychological aspects of it, I'm exploring it. It can make things like these can make for a lot of stories. Anything can make for a good story, depending. Specific things are only appropriate for specific genres. Although honestly, quantum mechanics probably can work in a comedy, but only if you do it in a specific way. And then probably don't. I mean, you could go into depth a little bit. But I mean, other topics probably would need something else. The idea that either reality doesn't exist until human beings are observing and cataloging it, or everything exists in all possible permutations everywhere and everywhen all at once. That is assuming that's why the story is gonna be about, of course, but I can't imagine Blake would have included that lecture at the beginning unless it was gonna be relevant to the story proper. A perspective character seems like quite a deep thinker as well, unlike the rest of the class. Just the kind of protagonist I was. As I continue reading onward, we find out more about them. Hana Misaki, our intrepid heroine, a PhD student from Japan who's currently studying in Canada. Her parents are also totally loaded. Her dad is the CEO of Misaki Entertainment, an arcade gambling conglomerate with global ambitions. Apparently, they've just recently expanded into South Korea and North America. Which is why Hannah's studying in Canada in the first place. As heiress to Misaki Entertainment, it will be her responsibility to break into this as of yet untapped market. Hannah, of course, has all the usual baggage that comes with having such a responsibility forced onto her. She struggles with lack of control and her own worth as human being. I stared out the window of the car, watching the Toronto skyline swirl by sluggishly in the foggy, snow-sprinkled distance. The driver prattled on endlessly about who knows what. I certainly didn't. I didn't even speak French, much less in this strange Quebec dialect. So I just smiled and nodded, catching snippets of legible speech here and there in order to respond appropriately and placate the driver. Living on autopilot as always. Barely the afternoon and already I felt exhausted. And having to follow this thoroughly one-sided conversation definitely does not help matters. I thanked my lucky stars that money wasn't a concern at least. My family back in Japan spends me enough money every month to buy out a few of these buildings. It's probably an exaggeration, but the point is made. The point being, this morning would have been ever so much more exhausting if I had to stress over the ridiculous rates of these rideshare apps. But it's fine. It's all fine. Just 20 minutes left on the ETA, and I'll be back on campus and back in my dorm. Not that my roommate is exactly a peach to deal with either, but at least she respects the importance of sleep. Hell, she'll probably still be fast asleep herself by the time I arrive. She's been pulling all-nighters for what feels like the past week now, but being a PhD student myself, I feel not the slightest inkling of pity. That roommate of mine just needs to manage her workload better, just like I do. The fog had only grown thicker by the time my driver and I arrived at the parking lot of the Toronto University Library. Mind, I wasn't here to borrow any books or anything of the sort. I was just here for the double-shot espresso cup offered at the Building Cafe. Dinging. Please remember to report any and all persons or objects that appear to be out of place. If it stinks, trust your instincts. More dinging. They have those ridiculous PA systems installed in every one of the buildings here on campus. Plus, a few outside for good measure. Like the campus is all one big airport or train station. Is it truly that dangerous around here? I haven't ever seen anything to suggest this anyway. My family back home, of course, would never stop going on about how violent and dangerous it is in the West, about all the serial killings, kidnappings, and mass shootings that occur on a daily basis. But everyone here, at least at the university, has seemed perfectly nice and welcoming, if a little jumpy and nosy. Seems xenophobia is something that crosses national borders, ironically enough. More dinging. There it goes again. Please do not leave any belongings unattended. Toronto University will not be held liable for any lost or stolen possessions. And the PA system, it signs off. That time it came from just outside my dorm building, Gravely Hall it's called, a place filled with urban spooks and ghost stories simply due to the last name of the ancient carcass that commissioned its construction. So that's how I explained the cold, tight feeling in my chest as I ascended up the elevator to the fourth floor. My screaming sixth sense telling me to stop, turn around, leave. The scent of iron in the air as I twisted the knob on the door to my dorm room. Lillian! I called out as I stepped gingerly inside. The lights were off. I repeated, Lillian! Wow. That time went by so quickly. That girl's already gone. I need to remember to leave earlier too. I only have 10 minutes to get to my next class. I can still make it if I jog. Leaving beneath a crimson moon on the table, I sling my backpack over my shoulders and hustle towards the exit doors. First among my evening classes is science. As for what kind of science, I think at this point we're learning chemistry. I take my assigned seat before I set down my backpack and zip it open. I pull out the chemistry textbook, quite the weighty motherfucker, and carefully set it down on my desk. Peering about the classroom, I realize I'm actually starting to recognize some of the faces already. Names, on the other hand, might take some more time. Actually, Kosei's seat is somewhere behind me, right? I crane my neck around and sure enough, there he is, at the window seat, doing what I wish I could do, gazing at the grey skies in moody melancholy. Then he notices me staring and greets me with a serene smile and a wave. I awkwardly wave back. A bespectacled woman with black hair and a white jacket enters the classroom with an armful of books. But then she looks in my direction and stops in her tracks. She stares in my direction for the longest few seconds I've ever lived, until a befuddled frown forms on her face. What is that thing in seat D2? The class breaks out into scattered giggles and chuckles at both her confusion and the bluntness of her question. I, on the other hand, already feel the redness forming on my face. After the laughter dies down, I clench my fists and attempt to speak coherently. My name is Max. I am a new transfer student here at Sarubatu High. I look forward to learning from you. Oh, should have said that earlier. The class once again has a collective fit of giggling. I place my hand on my chest and try to steady my breathing, with mixed success. Even now, I notice some of my classmates stealing glances in my direction. How am I supposed to calm myself like this? The teacher drops her stack of books on the podium with a booming thud, instantly commanding the attention of the entire class. I exhale steadily as my heart rate slows down. Thank you, strange chemistry teacher. Since we have a new arrival here, I might as well introduce myself again. My name is Saki. I teach chemistry here at Sarubatu High. God only knows why. I'm a microbiologist, not a chemist. I study algae. Algae. I know what it is, but no! I used to study algae. Anyway, apparently one lousy oil spill is enough to undo more than a decade of scientific contribution. The school's board of directors could be compared to a colony of algae. Their mental processes are about as complicated. Architecture and engineering are not my discipline. I'll just wait until she's done and then I'll read it from the history. Architecture and engineering are not my discipline. Again, I study algae. But I would estimate this venture to be far beyond the means of the school, especially under its current management. That being said, I would not put it past the board of directors to place me in charge of the engineering class next. It makes about as much sense. Oh wait, that's actually true though. Like, they can put teachers into like classes that they're not adjusted to it at all. Like, if there's like, I had like a discussion with a teacher, I remember it still, and it was like if they wanted to put her somewhere into like a class that she has no idea about, they could still do it and she would have to make do with what is like on the plan. But I would estimate this venture to be far beyond the means of the school, especially in its current management. That being said, I would not put it past the board of directors to place me in charge. Oh, I just read that. Saki-sensei delivers all of these lines completely deadpan and without skipping a beat. I could hardly keep up with her. Yeah, me neither. That's why I had to read the history later on. Give me a second. I don't want to like skip the music. I hate that. I hate that I hate, but I love the music so much that I don't want to cut it out, even when I'm doing something real quick. Something important, very important. Judging by my classmates' lack of a reaction, she must go on these kinds of rants pretty often. The lecture proceeds as expected, though with Saki-sensei's completely monotone delivery making it somewhat difficult to focus. However, with 45 minutes left on the clock... Building upon what we discussed, let us use the rest of class time for a team exercise. Most of my classmates don't even try to hide their exasperation. Yes, I know. I need to meet a quota of these, so if you have a complaint, please direct them to the principal. Anyway, for the exercise, you will need to find a partner. Now that Max is here, we have an even number, so I expect this to be resolved promptly. The whole class rises from their seats, and quickly people begin pairing off with each other. Many instantly decisive as to who their partner should be, which makes sense. A lot of the people here probably know each other well. The stagglers quickly gravitate together as well, which of course leaves me... Maybe Kosei would like to partner up? He's very nice and seems quite competent. Can you at least not make it God when I'm reading? I'm sure he'd be... Oh, he's practically surrounded by prospective partners. He seems to have his hands full, but he smiles patiently nonetheless. Guess Kosei has the pick of the load. Lot. Suddenly, I notice a girl sitting alone in her chair. She doesn't even seem to be bothering to look for a partner, instead simply staring down at the cover of her chemistry textbook. I unseat myself from my chair. Clutching at my uniform's tie, I take slow, hesitant steps towards the girl sitting by her lonesome. Hello. I'm sorry, but you don't have a partner, do you? The girl turns her head to face me. To my surprise, her skin is very tan and her eyes shine like... Oh god, how did I say onyx? She rises from her seat with slow, deliberate motions, as though no movement should possibly be wasted. Facing me, she bows, whatever. So much so that it's frankly a little awkward for me. Greetings. My name is Kazori. She says as she rises from her bowl. I'm a foreign exchange student from Iran. Please forgive any mistakes I make while I learn your language. Her speech is slow, stilted, and excessively formal, but aside from that she speaks Japanese brilliantly. Interesting Japanese. Don't worry about it. Your Japanese is amazing. She blushes a little for my compliment, causing my own face to redden in turn. My name is... You are Max. Do not worry. I believe we have been introduced twice within the past day. And even more heat finds its way to my face. Despite a language barrier, she already seems possessed of remarkable wit. I'm guessing we're going to partner up with her. Everyone has finished pairing up, so Saki-sensei begins handing out the instructions for the team exercise. Do I really want to read an entire thing about school? The past few years, I didn't even do chemistry anymore. I picked other classes instead. I picked biology and computer science. More assaults. I'm looking at a few numbers and stuff in case there's like a question about it, but I probably won't remember any of this. There's a reason I didn't do it the past few years. Like, there's a reason I chose to not have this in my to not do it anymore the past few years. That and physics, I sucked at both. Although chemistry was kind of dependent on the teacher, but like, with the risk of what teacher we could have, it's definitely not worth taking it. A few experiments were also in like biology, but they were kind of different and not. Wait, into the seems simple enough. This probably wouldn't even be a group assignment if we had enough equipment to go around. It was a step-by-step process, so if I had like had the year before, like if it was like, no, this is a first year. No, I just suck at chemistry. Even if Kazori sometimes struggles with certain words, she certainly knows her way around a beaker and hot plate. I observe her stir the boiling solution, watching it closely until... Alright, solids are dissolved. Time to take it off the heat. With a bemittened hand, Kazori quickly takes the beaker off the hot plate and presents the now colorless solution. I examine the mixture, then offer an encouraging smile. Wonderful! Keep the heat on. I'll mix this into our ammonium sulfate solution. Sulfate. Carefully, I pour the newly synthesized iron 2 sulfate solution into the Erlenmeyer flask containing the ammonium sulfate collection solution. The combined solution fizzes momentarily before it settles down, and I begin stirring it with a metal teaspoon. Please wait for a moment. Kazori leans close to the solution, squinting. The solution is, how do you say, cloudy. Yes, the solution is cloudy. Why did I say it like that? Cloudy. This is likely due to excess ammonium in the ammonium sulfate solution. Huh. She's right. The solution is cloudy. Luckily, this can easily be remedied. A few extra drops of sulfuric acid should balance out its pH. I continue stirring the solution while Kazori uses a dropper to add additional sulfuric acid. Sure enough, it clears into a translucent lime color. Upon seeing this, Kazori claps her hands lightly. It's so cute, I can't help but smile. Maybe we should approach her. We're not done yet. Now we need to boil the combined solutions. Once the solution is brought to a boil, I drizzle in water in order to facilitate the formation of crystals. Before I take it off the heat and set it down on the countertop. Ooh, that's a pretty color. We were crystallizing our salt from hot solution, so it should only take a few hours for crystals to form. Still, I kind of wish I could see it for myself. Yes, that is a shame. I imagine Misaki will be evaluating our projects only after they have fully formed. She furrows her brow as she stumbles over her words, sensing her frustration. I quickly smile and reply, "You were great, Kazori. Thank you for your help." I too am grateful for your assistance and instruction. That marks the end of class. Kazuri and I sign our names on the team assignment sheet before I begin gathering my things. However, as I stuff my textbook into my backpack, I'm interrupted. Excuse me? Please tell me your phone number, Max. Oh! Sorry, yeah, sure. I relay my phone number to Kazori, slowly and carefully enunciating each number. It's only my first day here, and already I'm on the contact list of 2 different people. Well, I'm sure Kosei at least is only there for out of obligation as class representative. Oh, she has okay, so she has like, oh, that's adorable. It's like kind of, I don't know if this is an anime character or like, it kind of looks like her with like flowers. Hello, hello. Thank you again for your help. No need to thank me. The pleasure was all mine. What a gentleman. Winky faced. Can we pair up again for future projects? You're really smart and good at explaining things. Of course, you pulled your weight as well. I'd be happy to work with you again. Hehe, well, I try. Thanks again for helping for being the one to approach me. Most people here don't bother. Not to say my classmates here have been mistreating me or anything. It's just that there's an obvious language and cultural barrier that most cannot ignore. Just a guess, but are you a foreigner as well? Sorry, but the answer to that is a little complicated. Oh, is he maybe like mixed? Well, that just makes me even more curious, but I'll back off for now. Winky face. Okay, we both need to get to our next classes. Talk to you later. Have a pleasant evening. Wow. She's a lot more talkative over text. I mean, pronunciation isn't a bother here anymore. I can understand it because like when I write, I'm also more comfortable like using like I can the Algen. Like I have used like the LJ. I've used that word before, but like I'm currently right now I just can't remember how it's said in English. It's like sometimes you know the words, you know how they're written, you know what they mean. You can put it into context. It's just you can't say them. Sometimes it's just a momentary thing because I've said that word before in a conversation, but like sometimes it's just I've read it. Great. I've read it somewhere before, but it's like I don't know what it said. So I can understand it because it's like you don't need to worry as much about like the pronunciation there. I exit the chemistry classroom. Being that my next class is English, I head to the west wing of the school. On the way, however... Kosei. We seem to have missed each other at chemistry class. Yeah, I didn't know you were this popular. Yeah, sorry about that. I should have paired up with you if I could. I would have paired up with you if I could. Thank you for doing the project with Kazori. It's disheartening to see her isolated all the time. I'm sure she appreciates meeting someone who treats her just like another human being. Is it really that uncommon? Afraid so. Do me a favor and look out for her, would you? I can certainly do that. Good lad. And I, of course, will continue to keep an eye on you. Winky face. Teasing aside, I'm extraordinarily fortunate that my interactions at school have been with good, genuine people like Kosei and Kazori. I'm kind of shipping Kosei and, like, our character currently, Max. I kind of shipping them right now, I don't know why, though. But also Kazori. She's also cute. Well, putting aside my very first interaction... Time for English, last class of the day. Since a lot of the books I read are in English, this class is usually a breeze. Yeah, English classes were also pretty easy for me. Like, yeah, there are a few things where I struggle with pronunciation, but in English class I was sometimes doing very well there. I don't want to be mean, but I remember the word unprecedented. And like for some reason even the English teacher struggled with it. I was kind of happy to just like be like, unprecedented, you say it unprecedented. It was very interesting. For once I knew how to pronounce something. Written all over the chalkboard are quotes from Shakespearean plays. From what I'm gathered, the teacher of this class possesses a flair for the dramatic. That was the quickest class. Well, we didn't really have any important interaction here, it seems. The class, and therefore my first day at school, is over before I know it. Even in middle school, English usually passed in a flash. I gather my things into my backpack before I head out into the halls. Everything's accounted for in my locker. No stock shoujo bullying tactics for me today. After retrieving my shoes, I obtained my umbrella from the basket. Standing just outside the school entrance, I open up the umbrella and situate it over my head. The sidewalks ahead bob with dozens of umbrellas of varying colors and patterns. My black umbrella, meanwhile, makes it look like I'm headed to a funeral. Interesting. I feel like dark umbrellas are actually more common than like the very, very bright ones, at least from what I've seen when I walk down like the streets while it's raining. I don't have a black one, but I have like a very dark green one. Like a muddy green too. Maybe I ought to get a new one. With what money, dumbass? Apparently, this seaside road used to be a beautiful place to walk past every day, but now it just looks like everything else, grey and misty. The occasional car passes to and fro, sending waves of filthy water in both directions. Thankfully, none of it manages to reach the sidewalk. I suppose, if there is naught but rain in the days ahead, I should learn to find beauty in the gloom and the muck. Though I imagine even all of Saburo City's melancholy poets have gotten sick of writing about rain and grey skies. As I drove nearer to my neighborhood, I cannot help but think about all the people I met today. Well, okay, there was that pink-haired girl, but also Kosei, Kazori, and of course that mysterious, beautiful girl at the library. I just wanted to say, are we like kind of interested in Yuri, maybe? I mean, not that Natsuki will be any more bothered while I was approaching her. For the most part, the people of this school have been nothing but kind, welcoming, and patient with me. Perhaps the school's a place where I can belong after all. There's even a nice, quiet library where I can read as much as I want to the sound of beating rain. And perhaps even have someone to share with. It's awfully romantic, isn't it? Two people reading in quiet, shared solitude. Each never once acknowledging the other's presence, but finding comfort in it at all the same. I mentally slapped myself. Get your shit together, Max. Save your flights of fancy for the novels you read. The only place where someone like you could find true companionship. Besides, I'm already tremendously fortunate just to have made some acquaintances. Asking for anything more than that is just greedy. Eventually, my house comes into view. This neighborhood, it does not yet feel familiar to me yet. It does not feel familiar to me yet. I wonder if it'll ever feel like home. It is a very nice house, all things considered. Wonder how Mom even threw together this scratch for it. I carefully slipped my shoes off, then rolled the socks off my feet. Much to their relief, even with the umbrella, my socks were considerably damp. And the umbrella's returned to its stand. I ball up my socks and take them with me so they can be thrown into the wash. Still no sign of Mom. Come to think of it, it's been a few days since I've even last seen her. Okay, so she's like very busy, maybe also like looking for money. Not that I'm complaining. I'm not so needy that she's gotta be around all the time. Since Kosei was kind enough to give me his sandwich, I get to skip dinner today. Maybe I ought to make a habit of forgetting my lunch. No, 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 no. Don't even think of taking advantage of him like that. I shake my head vigorously so as to dislodge the evil thoughts from it, then head past the kitchen and upstairs to my room. It'd be a good idea to knock out some homework before the day is done. English and Japanese homework should be fairly trivial. What worries me more is the math homework that's due tomorrow. Being that I started in the middle of the semester, it's not surprising that I have some homework to attend to before I've even showed up to class for the first time. That being said, calculus is still a bitch and a half. These aren't the kinds of tangents I'm used to. That's tomorrow's math homework done with. Fucker sure did put up a fight, though. Might as well get an early start on my world history homework. Only one page down and my eyelids are starting to feel heavy. However, as I start to drift off, I am jerked back into reality by my vibrating phone. Hello, Max. Good evening, Kazori. Is there something you need? Yes, actually. Do you have a copy of the homework handout Saki-sensei assigned this evening? Seems as though I've missed it. I do. Please give me a moment to take a picture and send it to you. You're a lifesaver. Thank you so much. Attachment: chemhomework.gpg. That's the one. Thank you again. No problem. Oh, and for future reference, Max. Yes? When someone says hello to you, don't just immediately assume they want something from you. It could be that they just want to talk. I'm assuming this is implying, like, she wants to talk right now. Would you happen to just talk right now? Just want to talk right now? I mean, I'm always up for talking. I might struggle with speaking Japanese, but I can write it just fine. If you were to speak to me or my family in Farsi, we'd all talk your poor little ears off. Or at least not flowers, these could be hearts. No, those are like roses. My little brother Kami, he's the worst of us. The little man can turn the most mundane events into what's the word for a long story told through a song? A ballad? A ballad? I think in English pronunciation, cool. English is ballad, but no, I forgot the German word for it. It was ballad or something like that. Ballad, yes. He's got a gift for the spoken word. Don't ever tell him I said that, though. The name Kami, in Japanese, that means God. Oh dear, don't ever tell him that either. He'd use that for his advantage. Yeah, Kami and Kazori are both Persian names. I get told all the time mine sounds Japanese, though. Not that it's helped me fit in at all. Is it hard for you? Being, I don't know, isolated? I don't know. Do you? I imagine someone nice like you must have lots of friends. I think you'd be very surprised then. Look at us lone wolves, eh? Does two make a pack? I don't think so, but it certainly makes a team. Social isolation. It doesn't affect me at all, but from how others describe it, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. If Kazori were to consider me a friend, I'd consider her a friend as well. I wonder if it's like actually true that it doesn't bother him at all. I should continue working on this paper, but surely it couldn't hurt just to rest my head on my arms for a while, and then fall asleep. Son of a bitch. Guess I should have seen that coming. What time is it even? I check my phone's clock and see it's well past 10. Shit, must have been more tired than I thought. I still am, if I'm being honest. I should just wash up and go to bed for real. I rise from my seat at the desk, only to suddenly feel, fuck my neck. Note to self, arms make for an absolutely lousy pillow. I rinse my hands and brush my teeth over the sink. Ugh, I'm still in my uniform. I'll just head downstairs for a glass of water, then change out once I get back. Given how dark the house is, I rely on touch and muscle memory in order to navigate to the kitchen. You know, there's nothing stopping me from grabbing a bottle of wine and drinking myself to sleep. Mom does it all the time. Should probably notice if some of her wine went missing, though. I just fill a glass of water before heading back upstairs to my bedroom. I nestle snugly under the covers and close my tired eyes. All becomes black, and there's nothing left in the world to save me. And there is nothing in the world save for me and the sound of rain against the window. I see.